everyone, welcome to my channel. Here on the Sheenapreneur channel, I share information about government contracting, veteran business content, and other business tips. I share information about government contracting, veteran business content, and other business tips. Do you have another thing on? You see, I'll see him smiling. Veteran business content and other business tips.
I don't have something
else. Do you have another thing on? We're having technical difficulties. Stand by.
I can hear you great.
Okay, there was like an echo. Okay, I guess we're good. So hopefully we're good. Y'all see I'm already smiling, right? Because, oh my God, well, let me do my intro because I'm getting all sidetracked. So it's Sheena, aka Sheenapreneur, your favorite veteran. And I am so excited because I had to drag Miss Ma'am, okay? She was like, I ain't interviewing with nobody, Sheena. I don't want to hear. I was like, please. This woman, since day one, is a freaking superstar. I'm going to tell you how the first intro conversation that we had, it was so cute. It was so sweet. And I want her to share her story and introduce herself because we may not get, I know I'll be saying that about some people, but for real with her, we may not see her no more on nobody's interview because she be getting to this money, this money. You hear me? So please, Alvarys, please share your story, a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, you know, who you is and all that. Let the people know.
Okay. Well, first off, you know, I'm super honored. I have so much love for you, so much respect. Since day one, you've literally just kind of taken me under your wing and have helped with anything and everything that I've had going on. So I appreciate you and just thank you for like letting me be with your community tonight. So a little bit about me. My name is Alvarys. I know a lot of people are going to pronounce that wrong and it's okay. Just call me A. I'm fine with that. But I grew up in the Bronx with my grandmother, 1 bedroom, 9 people. So, you know, brokety broke. That, I mean, it is what it is. I was raised between the Bronx and Dominican Republic. So traveling back and forth with my grandmother and my siblings. I moved to New Orleans initially once I went out of college, and then I moved over to Charlotte. I was very lost in what I wanted to do with my career, but I always knew I wanted to work for big corporations. I mean, that's kind of the symbol for you made it. In a lot of the context, I mean, I didn't know many business owners, and the business owners that I knew, they were making about 40 grand a year. And I'm like, that can't be life. So I said, I'm going to work for a big corporation, go and get this money. And, you know, I thought I was going to be set for life. Now I'm a planner. I'm a strategist. I like making sure that I have kind of everything aligned. So my plan actually went really great. When I came to Charlotte, I started working for really big corporations and kind of just doing my thing. I was able to literally go from entry level all the way to senior manager with the support and the help from a lot of people that embraced me, that saw the talent, and that just knew I always had it in me to kind of do all those amazing things. But I felt like something was always missing. And what was missing was really the time to be with my family. Everyone knows once you reach a point of making the whole 6 figures in corporate, your time is not your time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't get that. You can't tell people, don't call me on weekends. No, they calling you on weekends. They paying you sure enough for them to have access to your phone whenever they want it. Now, I loved what I did. And sometimes I even miss it because of the consistency of what I did and kind of just doing it for so many years. But just today where I'm at now, it's like that was necessary in order for me to kind of get to the bag, like you said, and what I'm able to facilitate now. So I love it. I would say my business pitch and my introduction is I'm Alvarys Santana. I am the president and principal consultant over at AS Strategy. We operate in 3 different verticals: educational support services, professional development and training, and survey and polling. What does that even mean? It means we go ahead and build you amazing programs. We train on those programs, and then we go ahead and visualize them for you with the data and the different analytics and visualizations that we give you. So that's in a nutshell.
Listen, that's the standard. When y'all be like, Sheena, I want you to be like this. It's going to be like this. This is what I need. Okay. Too funny. I love it. I love that she's every time she has given me her intro, it has been just like that. Because she knows what she's talking about and she knows what she does. Okay. So let me just do a brief little interlude and just say hey to the peoples, because we got a lot of peoples up in here. So shout out to Casino. Let me go ahead and how do I add this? Wait a minute. I'm acting like I don't know how to do this anymore. Shout out to Casino. Thank you so much for the super chat already. Look, listen, he's starting off already with some shmoney. All right. So if you like what you hear, if you appreciate what she's sharing already, please make sure that you bless us in this, because she's sharing information she don't have to share. She getting to the money. We trying to help y'all get to the money, right? So hello, Shamir. Hello, Crystal. What's up, Oliver? Oliver, of course, was a guest last week, and he has just blessed so many folks already. And hello, Recreative Design, always on my lives. And Jeanette Bra, good afternoon. Don't forget to like. That's right. Don't forget to like the video. Like the video and share, okay? Hello, CC Wood. Commenting on what you said, access to your time and your phone. Yes, yes. If anybody's ever worked for corporate, you already know. So, okay, we moving. We moving. Thank you, Night's Way. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much for the super chat. So generous of you. Really, really appreciate it. Okay, there's a lot of people up in here. Hello, Queen. What's up? Back at you. Inspired already. I love it. Hello, Yolanda. I love it. All right. So I want to get to when when she first introduced herself to me, right? If I remember, it was one of the first interactions. It was via DM, okay? And she was like, I want to get some fire trucks. And I was like, what? What? What do you mean fire trucks? Like, what does that even mean? And I just knew, like, okay, so she talked a little bit about her background, but she has a lot more to express with her educational background. She's teaching education, and she, moved her way up in corporate in a very large corporation that we all know. And success leaves clues. So I like that when you're able to say, you know what, I did this, I did great in this. Now it's time for me to move on to the next level via entrepreneurship. Success leaves clues. Honestly, and I'm just going to say this because y'all know me. If you're, I don't want to use this word, but if you're a bum in real life, it's probably going to be hard for you to switch over to be a business owner and be successful at it. That's just me. Success leaves clues. Okay, boom. So you got that. So you were in corporate and you were like, you had all the razzle dazzle. Because you told me that everybody loved you, which I totally believe because I love you already.
They still calling.
What'd you say?
They still calling.
Still calling, and you haven't, and you've been detached from them for a little bit. So, okay, now you worked in a very large corporation, and you shared some things with me before when we met about how you were positioned. These things matter because to me it sets you up for what you move towards. So can you share kind of some of the positions you held and why, and you're traveling and what was expected of you?
Yeah, so I think it's important to kind of start like where my educational background. So I actually studied a lot of international relations in Europe, in South America. So I did a lot of travel in order to get those degrees, those certifications, in order to know what the hell I was talking about. Because a lot of people can tell you they know, but do you really know? So I've always been the person that's been curious about learning. And to me, that's a pretty big deal. So my background, I started my career in human resources. When I moved from New York, I moved over to New Orleans. It was to work in the oil industry doing HR work. So that's actually what I did. Now, I ended up meeting someone that said, hey, I will match what you're making at the oil industry so you can come and help me build up my construction company. Now, let's be transparent because I think mentioning this information is very important. The guy was Mexican. He was undocumented. And when I really realized what he had going on, and that's the first time I got introduced to government contracts, he was like the sub of the sub of the sub. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? But often, and let's just take it for what it is, often Mexicans are the ones doing the work, yet they're the ones gaining least of the money because they don't really know and understand even the complexities of what they're doing. But he was doing government work. He was building hospitals, building schools, streets, and all of that. Yet he was I'm going to pay you under the table. Now, I was able to help him with a lot of his HR, so his SOPs, hiring, social relations. I helped him hire many women because women are very, very capable of being in that field. And if y'all don't believe me, go see my sisters because they killing it out there in the oil industry, in the male-dominated industries. But I was able to turn around his crew from a 10-man crew to a 50-man crew in under 6 months. Wow. I was able to help him not become the sub of the sub of the sub and just the sub. That's a step forward.
Absolutely.
Just helping him understand what it is that he was doing. However, this was 10 years ago. So even not then did I know that government contracts extended beyond construction. That's all I thought you can do.
That's interesting. Okay, so that is interesting because I think a lot of people, if they heard about it maybe over 10 years ago, they just thought about it like that as well. That, and you're going to explain some of the things that you put me on to as far as local because I'll be preaching local now.
I'm a local girl.
Local, right? And some of the things that you turned me on to, I was like, what? I'm like, how did I not know? So I know that you study and you search and you find all of these things to make it, make sense for you. Like what, it doesn't necessarily have to be like she gave her pitch, right? So if you say education, then it's like, it could be a wide range of things. Like, are you teaching in person? Are you doing digital? Are you creating products? And now I like that it's still a little versatile, kind of like facility management is a little versatile. It's multiple things. You're not pigeonholed into one singular thing. But it's like, she can't tell you, I can't tell you, this is exactly what you need to do. Sheena, what business should I start? I don't know, but she speaks multiple languages. I'm sure she would pick up a translator contract if the money made sense, like those type of things that we got to think about when we're going into it. So she was like, education, that sounds perfect. Boom. Now she got a whole company doing it. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So no. It's great because everything you said is literally on point. So like then we moved from me being in New Orleans, helping this guy kind of build his company. He did amazing work. The company actually, by the time that I left, it ended up being like an $8 million company. And I mean, he's undocumented and we out here saying we can't get no jobs. Come on, man. Like there's no excuse for us. So
see there.
I kind of came to Charlotte. And I had zero intentions on staying in Charlotte. But then I made a 6 feet chocolate and I'm like, all right, I'm staying. But
that part, isn't it funny how life works? I love it.
Yeah, but I came to Charlotte. I was a little bit confused about kind of where to go next in Charlotte because what I didn't tell you, Sheena, I originally came to Charlotte to go to law school. So yeah,
you're a whole brainiac over here. She's like, 19 degrees.
I would have been a terrible lawyer. Terrible. And I'll tell you why. So I came here to go to law school. So I attended law school for 1 full year. However, the law school that I went to was Charlotte School of Law, which was a school that I didn't know was doing damage. It was just stealing the money. Yeah, it was an investor-led school of law. They went under FBI investigation and everything, and the school ended up closing down. And that was 1 year in that I had completed from my, education. So I'm a little bit depressed. I'm down. I'm like, crap, what is next? So I'm like, I got to get a job. I have to do something. So I started working for Coca-Cola then. I did a mixture of like sales, marketing, training, anything you name it. I kind of did it just because I was the person that learned really, really fast. Like I just did. So did tons of stuff there. I was always pissed off because I never ever got promoted at Coca-Cola. And that's when I had to do inner work. And I'm like, yo, why they not promoting me? Because I started saying, is it because they racist? Is it because this, because that? And my husband's like, no, you show up to work late every day. Why would they promote you?
Inner work. Do you hear that? Inner. Look within self. Look inside. You might be the problem. Okay, go ahead.
But you're right. Like I was the problem. I'm over here complaining, but it really showed that I'm not dependable. It doesn't matter how great you are. You're not even there when they giving out assignments. So it means you're gonna get whatever other people don't take. So a lot of that really dealt with me, like who I was as a person, and for me to understand kind of where to move next. And like I used to train a lot of people there, but you know how we do, telling people that's not how you're supposed to do it, but this how I do it. And it is like, no, just do the damn job you were assigned to do.
We all said that. If you said that, put I done did that. I did that. Drop that in the chat if you've done that when you train somebody. I definitely have done it multiple times, and it's been said to me. That's so funny.
Yeah, but it's like, no, just show these people that you really mean business. And a lot of people consider it kissing ass. It ain't kissing ass. It's really just doing the job you were paid to do.
Absolutely.
So,
and if you're an employer, I'm getting it all back. I had over 35 jobs. So every job that I did wrong, I'm sorry, because I'm getting it all back. Lord knows.
I'm ready to tell you, I fumbled Coca-Cola. And I will publicly say that because I fumbled them. After I got my act together, it's like, I'm still not trusted because I had a track history of doing what I wanted to do. I thought I was too cute for certain stuff, you know? And like, you really got to realize, like, you messed that up. They didn't mess it up. You did it yourself. So I took a leap of faith.
Yes. Okay, pause right there because I want to get into the nitty gritty.
I see Oliver out here spending some money.
Oliver. Y'all know my love language. Let me stop. No, I appreciate this so much. All of you for sending your well wishes and you know, just giving us the feedback. Thank you so much, Joy Millhouse Solutions. So much. I've seen you on multiple of my lives. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate Dr. Person. That is my homie from like way back, way back. So thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Sheena, definitely love the channel. I appreciate y'all tremendously. Thank you again. I'm trying to bring y'all substance, you know what I'm saying? And this is the lady right here. This is who y'all need to follow her method when we get into it, okay? Follow her method. Thank you, Yolanda. Joshua, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll always support us. Love Alvarys and Sheena. Yes, I appreciate that so much. So generous of you. We talked about people not being afraid of hard work. That's right. And we got Big Oliver just sending the money. He ain't even giving no, like, you know, dropping no wisdom today. He dropped wisdom last week. And for anyone who had the privilege to talk to him last week, he's doing this out the kindness of his heart. I'm serious. So thank you so much. Truly appreciate you guys. Truly appreciate you, Oliver. Make sure you hit like on the way in. This is my mommy. Mommy, you got to spell Sheenapreneur right, okay? You got to spell Sheenapreneur right. But that's okay. You here. And a few people said that they did that. They was like, hey, this is the way I do it. And we trying to, you know, trying to get away from that, especially when we become employers, because we be like, oh, I was just terrible. Okay, so I don't know if I can say the name of the company that you were working for.
Yes, and I'm gonna share my whole journey there. And if you want to work there, I still got connections there, so we can share everything. Yes,
let's get into that.
Yes, so
that's when I met you, and you were like, "Look, we ain't gonna be saying all that on this call." I was like, "Fair, that's fair."
I'm always gonna be politically correct. I guess I was trained for public speaking, so you know what to say and what not to say. But no, I had a great experience. So the last company, once I left Coca-Cola, I took a leap of faith and I took a temporary job that was only supposed to last 4 months over at Lowe's corporate. So I knew I needed to leave Coca-Cola. So I went over to Lowe's, and I made it my mission to stay at Lowe's because I knew the job was going to end in 4 months. They were going through a HR transformation, and they needed to bring in new administrators to help them navigate those different complexities and to help them just do rapid recruiting. That really was the goal of that assignment. Everyone said that once you have a temp job there, you don't stay there and they don't hire you and all this stuff. And I said, you can say what you want to say. I know what I'm about to do. I don't care. So I started networking like crazy, but like genuine networking, because I didn't realize Lowe's had so many Black people and so many Hispanics. And I'm like, all right, this is my kind of place. I'm like, hold
She's
on.
so real, y'all. Look, she real. She like, look, y'all like real. She real. I love it. Yes, this is my tribe. I found my tribe.
I mean, you start seeing us in a place like that. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. So I started networking, and I'm like, these jobs are really cool. Like, I had never ever heard of some of these jobs prior to even going there and meeting people and networking with people. And I mean, I networked with everyone. I didn't know diddly squat about stocks. But then I started hearing about what someone's auntie was doing and the husband and all this stuff. But that's really how you learn. So you find your tribe, but you also find those that are going to expand your mind. So I was able to see about a new role that was staff auditor, and it was essentially just doing auditing. So it was under the finance and the accounting branch. Okay. Now, I had never done finance and accounting. I never in my entire life. But again, I found someone that took a chance on me, and literally at the 4th month when we were supposed to be let go, that guy's like, I want to interview you so you can join my team. And I was like, okay. So I was able to find an actual job that was going to be, a regular salaried position within the company. Nice. So did that, and I did that for about 2.5 years, and I actually did really well there. I excelled there. So I did a lot of their like operational audits, so being in the stores and doing different audits. I did HR audits because that was just my expertise. I started being brought on to supply chain audits, which was really amazing because it was a brand new thing that I was learning. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. And sometimes you don't think you're going to learn stuff that you like, but if you really start thinking about the mechanics and how things work, like, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Wow. So you were just like, cool, I'll take it. And then you actually ended up building on your own skill set anyway. Wow. See how things just
That's where I learned about Power BI, Sheena. You keep asking me how I know all that stuff. That's where I learned it.
I be like resistant to certain things. I'm like, ugh, but I know it's super powerful and super important. We're gonna sit down one day and talk about it.
I got you. I know how to teach in a way that you can understand. But
please, Lord, because I need the Barney language.
I got you.
Okay.
But no, so I was able to do that for about 2.5 years. We went through COVID. I was working remote. And prior to even being remote, I kept traveling around for them. I did some of the travel audits, like Seattle, Rhode Island, Boston. So different places. But I've always been the club girl. I like being in little clubs because I feel like that's how you develop your real people. That you
can, like cliques. Not like the club, not the party club.
No, not the party club.
Not anymore, right?
But there's some money there for me. But other than that, I ain't going there.
Where the money at? That's where she go toward, to the bag. So like click, like building little network groups. Got you. Okay. Yes. That's important. Super important.
Yeah. And so during COVID, and even right after COVID, that's when we started having a lot of the cops killing Black men being on TV. So that's really what fueled a lot of these corporations to start what's called business resource groups. So, or some of them call it ERGs. So, enterprise resource groups. They have different names, but ultimately they're different affinity groups where a lot of like the people that work there, they can kind of go and they can see, whether you are, so they have like veteran is always the tightest one. Y'all stay tight. Y'all stay clicking everywhere.
If you're a veteran, drop it in the chat. If you're a veteran, drop veteran in the chat. Okay, go ahead.
But then they had like the gay, lesbian, bisexual, so like the queer group. They have the Latino, they had the Asian Pacific, they had the disability group and all of that. So
Wow.
I was able to be, I guess, one of the first ones to go ahead and give them ideas of like, what are the events? What should we focus on? And I did that mainly for disability, but also for the Latino. So disability has a special, special, special place in my heart. And obviously Latino because it's just my heritage and my culture. And I kind of know what that is. So
of course.
That's where I really focused on doing a lot of the work to help them carry out their mission to be able to enroll employees. And I mean, Lowe's is a 400,000 employee company. So they're massive. We're not speaking about us starting with 4 little people or even by ourselves. We're speaking literally about so many different people and so many different families. So I loved what I did there. So I knew I wanted to stay with the company. I knew I wanted to grow. Again, I kept connecting with people. I kept on networking and like genuine networking. I wanted to really meet people and know what they did. Why did they do it? So it wasn't just, I want to come here, ask you a question because I want something out of you and then I'm out. It was really like, I want to foster those connections.
It kind of sounds like supplier diversity a little bit, like you guys were there when they were kind of implementing like a supply diversity group type of thing. Am I off with that, or is that kind of?
You're not off with that. That's actually accurate, but I'm salty because I wanted to be part of that group and they didn't choose me. But never mind. Next. So everything happens for the best. But
yes, of course.
I ended up choosing a role that was so out of my nature that I had never like I've worked on projects and programs before, but not for a marketing team. So I ended up seeing a senior role, senior manager there, senior business project manager there. And I'm like, oh, I read the descriptions. I'm like, I match everything that's here. But we all know I was entry level. So after my role, I had to be like a senior analyst, and then you go into it. There was like a couple of gaps in those roles. However, when I interviewed, I found someone that took a chance on me. She gave me the job when I didn't have that history. And what now I really start thinking of it as past performance. Someone took a chance on me without me having what I was supposed to have, the full package, and it was amazing. And I will tell y'all this because I am going to shout this out. I've had more opportunities in corporate from white women than I've had from our own people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That says so much. So, okay, well, let's talk about that for like 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. So do you feel like there were those people in the positions that were minority, whether they were either women, black, male, black, female, do you feel like they were not in a position to help? Sometimes. Because you gotta look at the, like if there's 25.
Do you really want me to answer that?
Okay, never mind. You said everything. You said it all right there. Okay, well.
So let's say this, Sheena. I am, and this is why I chose the fields that I'm in. I love to help. I want to help people. But when you're put in a position to help, really help, try to help others. Don't just keep things to yourself because you believe you can be the only one. In corporate, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot. Like And there's a lot of telling for some reason. Like, Sheena ain't sent me a report at 9 a.m. She sent it at 9:05. Okay, who cares?
If anybody's worked for corporate, they know what that's like. It's like, you're not even getting paid extra for this to be a hater. Yes.
Like, but no, so I would just say, so for everyone that's watching, seriously, I don't care if the person is short, tall, purple, green, yellow. If you're in a position to help, because you don't know how your help is coming tomorrow. Like, you don't know.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. Definitely blessings come back around, and it may not come back around from that person. It may not come back around tomorrow. That's all very true. Since I've met you, you've always been helpful to me, and you're just a helpful person. I can just tell by your spirit and how you just conduct yourself in general that you are just a helpful person. You're just a nice, genuinely nice person. And there's not a lot of people, especially on the interwebs. The internet streets is rough. It's like the internet streets of hard knocks. Okay. So to find someone that's like genuine, but they're still like doing something similar to what I'm doing is like such a blessing. I really appreciate meeting you. There are 80 people on, so make sure y'all hit the like. So I want to get into what you did at Lowe's. Now, you told me that you got into like the product sales, and that's kind of how you shifted over. Is that right?
It wasn't necessarily product sales. So I went over to the project management team. So that team was really responsible for kind of leading all of those big initiatives that were coming out of the company. So anything new that was starting, so that's where they started the Latino pros. That's what it's called. So if anyone is in construction and they have a business, so you can actually go and enroll in that program for the pros, so MVP pros. And then they have like a little branch where they will start marketing and doing customer outreaches to you. You can get discounts on like large volume sales. And I mean, if you see the numbers, there's a lot of different like MVP pros that are enrolled where they're literally generating so much volume in sales. So
they're like contractors for Lowe. Like what is so
no.
if I'm not Latina, but if I was, what would I do to get involved in the Latina pros? Is it the people that work there?
So the program specifically wasn't like Latino pros. It was just became like a sub branch to market to that group. The actual program itself is called MVP pros. Okay. So anyone can go. Let's say Sheena has a construction business. Sheena would be considered a pro because you're not a DIYer or just, a regular shopper. You're a pro customer. So then you will go in there, you can set up your business account. You will qualify to kind of go and get a credit card. Of course, you have to match your credit and all that stuff. But then you're going to be able to get different discounts. That's going to help your business kind of buy large volume of products. Now, when I entered the team, that's when they were starting the whole Latino Pro segment. And it was just more from a customer marketing perspective. They market to that team. So it's just like you have the big group up top, and now you're going to start funneling to the different sectors. And it wasn't anything intentional. That wasn't like no racist move or anything. It was more of what groups can I tap in order to help them come and buy more. Because of course, corporate is about the bottom line. Like how much money can you bring in? And you do have to track that. So like there were different campaigns that focused on, so now let's say Sheena does rails. So now I want to have this segment right here for people that deal with rails. But now I have electricians. So now I'm going to focus here because there's so much that goes on when you are actually marketing to a customer. That's why people tell me they're in branding and they can't tell me who they're branding to or for what. I'm like, get out. Just
the door. The door.
Like, do you really know?
Right. So, no, that's really good insight. Okay, so that reminds me, I have a Home Depot account like that. I don't know what the hell it's called, but I have one like that. We get the discounts on the credit card, and it's like, yeah, it's like a separate credit line. So I know what you're talking about. That's really interesting. So anyone who is in well, don't have to be in construction, but buys stuff from Lowe's in bulk. Even like I get a lot of my cleaning supplies from Lowe's in particular, and Home Depot. That's a really good program to tap into. So when I talked to you, you were getting ready to be in transition. I don't think you were transitioning yet. Can you share that transition story? So you're like, the best of the best of the best at Lowe's, and you're like, F this, I'm ready to go. And then you shared with me kind of how you were able to transition, and then you just popped out, bow, full-time entrepreneur. So can you share that?
Yeah, so I left I guess those programs that I was working on helped me understand like team building, how to put teams together, how to manage such like large projects that were sometimes had non-related parties, how to manage relationships and all of that stuff. So it was a really good experience. November 2023. Okay, let's go back. Last summer. I started attending a lot of different conferences. Now they weren't conferences for me. It was conferences on behalf of the company. And there I kept seeing those supplier diversity events, but a lot of also government agencies would attend a lot of those different conferences. Um, I also attended the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, their national conference last year. And again, supplier diversity related and also small business related. But I ended up meeting so many different people, especially people from like the Department of Education, Bureau of like printing something. And I'm like, this exists?
I actually saw that. I was like, the what of printing? That's literally the title of the department. So if anybody does printing, they have a whole department dedicated to y'all.
And all you do is submit quotes. You don't have to write a technical proposal. You send them a number.
Hear that? Wait. We gotta stop right there. Listen, did y'all hear that? Everyone is like, I got my cage code. Okay, go out and find a quote now. All they want is the numbers and basically your company's info. Numbers, company info. You're not writing a proposal. You guys will come to me, or especially after this video, they're gonna be coming to you. So get ready. But they're gonna be coming to you, come to me, even come to Oliver and say, hey, how do you write a proposal? Ain't looked at NAS solicitation. Nothing. It could easily be a quote where they're just saying, what is your company name, your company address? Are you in collusion with anyone at this agency? And what's your damn number? That's it. So there's plenty of RFQs, requests for quotes out there, probably just as many, maybe even sometimes more than a proposal. A proposal takes a lot of work. And if they can get you to do a quote, they'll get you to do a quote. So go ahead.
Yeah. So again, it literally just kept like government contracts were haunting me. They were following me. But it wasn't till I spoke with people over at the Department of Education that they told me. And again, I wasn't there to say, hey, shake my hand. This is my business. This is what I do. I was really just there to kind of learn and, focus on supply diversity, the inclusion, the affinity groups, and all that good stuff. But then they told me, hey, did you know that we have disability related projects, that we have data projects? And I'm like, oh, I really thought that guy was trying to talk to me, and that's why he was trying to keep me there. But no, it was real.
Tantalizing my ears like that.
Yes. But yeah, so I literally just started doing research, and this was last summer. I started doing research, and I'm like, oh, there's so many different cool things that I know I can do, but also that if I needed to scale, I have a network of people that can help me with all of these different projects, because I've always been the one where I am very capable. I think absolutely highly of myself. But when you're speaking about getting to the next level, you ain't doing it alone. I don't care how good you think you are. Like, you are going to need people if you're building something massive, especially people that are smarter than you, people that have done things, and you just do. people that are going to look from the outside at what you're doing and can provide help and insights and tell you even how to move a little bit differently.
That's
So
right. That's right.
again,
1,000%.
found amazing projects. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to bid on this. I started bidding September 2023. And it was really, I wanted to bid. Now, I didn't know how to write a proposal, but you know what I did in order to learn how to write it? I read the goddamn solicitation. It tells you what to do.
I was going to say,
it tells you what to do. That's why when people tell me, what should I do? How should I submit it? Did you read the solicitation? Because it tells you exactly how to submit it, what time by to submit it, what to include in it. Like, they're telling you all these things.
Exactly what they want. They're telling you. It's too easy. And I just got to give a shout out to Jason. Jason said he just won a $1.2 million contract. So I can't go without saying something. So congratulations.
Amazing.
Awesome. Congratulations. But okay, so back to the matter at hand. So when it comes to that, this is a question that I get 150 times a day. When you're looking at a solicitation, they're telling you what they want. They're telling you that, you know, how to submit it, what they want, quantity, whatever. There may be a couple of little gaps in there, but that's where your expertise comes in. If it's a proposal, if it's a quote, it's usually going to be pretty cut and dry. So she's literally telling you, all you got to do is look at the solicitation. That's how you do the proposal. And now, look, I started 10 years ago. They didn't have no damn chat GPT. I was out here in the struggle, okay? Using my old lady writing skills, because it's been a minute. I ain't really wrote, you know, like I used to write poems and all that. All that is long gone. And I had to dig in the depths of my memory. Like, how do I write this? Like, I got to make sure the predicate is right. All that. Now y'all got Chat GPT, Gemini, and all these other services that you can use in order to do a proposal, put a proposal together easily. And there's some even softwares where you can put in the solicitation and it'll spit out the technical proposal for you. Some that are free, some that are paid. It's not going to be perfect, but I mean, compared to just using your brain, it's going to be a lot easier. So, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, I love AI. I'm not going to lie, but can you match AI when they put you in this room? Like, what are you going to tell AI to do? To speak for you, to tell you what?
Right.
So you need to be able to kind of know what you're doing, and is it really your expertise? So I'll kind of leave it right there. But I learned how to write my own proposals. Like, I didn't take any classes, any courses. I really just followed what they was telling me. When I lost or when I didn't get obviously any response, I would reach back out to them. I would ask for my debriefs, because that was still an opportunity to get on the phone or on a Zoom with someone and kind of just hear, what did I do wrong? Or how can I improve it for next time? And just, I call it free marketing. You're literally getting in front of them and they're able to learn more about you as a person, about your company. So why not? And like, your tax dollars pay all of these government salaries. So make them go to work for it. Like, that is their job.
Literally their job. Literally their job. And they'll tell you, I mean, a lot of times though, I'll say probably 50% of the time for people, it's going to be price. But that also is a lesson, because sometimes we don't know our price is stupid high. Or you just learned about government contracting, like, I'm just going to try to gouge the government. And it doesn't work that way, especially if you're in an oversaturated market. So that's your time to say, you know what? I'll never be able to go lower than whatever amount. That might not be the industry for you. So then you're like, you know what? I'm going to pivot and do something else. So yeah. So you transitioned over.
I was still working at Lowe's
while you were bidding, while you were trying to build the business. Got you.
So I was still there. I ain't about to miss my 6-figure salary. I need to be secure before I do anything.
That part.
But no, so I started bidding. Now, hit November 2023. That's kind of, Sheena, when I stopped talking to you, because I'm like, all right.
She disappeared on me. I was like, damn. Yeah. I said, I don't know what you're talking about with these fire trucks, and I ain't heard from sis no more. So
yeah. Did you ever tell people why I needed the fire trucks?
Tell them why you needed the fire trucks.
All right, y'all. So I knew nothing about bidding, and I saw the wrong video on YouTube.
No, it wasn't a Sheenapreneur.
No, it was not a Sheena video. It was not. But it literally was like, no, bid on anything and everything. You can do this. And I'm like, oh crap. Bid on anything and everything. And they're like, go to Unison, the first place to bid and the best place to bid. So I get a Unison account. I mean, like, I'm gonna go do that. And then they're like, we're looking for 2 fire trucks for you to sell. And I'm like, how much these fire trucks cost? And I looked at my bank account. I'm like, I can afford 2 fire trucks. When can I go get some? So I'm like, let me hit this girl up. She always talking about government contracts. She knows where these fire trucks are at. And you're like, girl, I don't know nothing about no fire trucks.
Yo, it was, but you know what? I was really confused because I'm like, what? Did I ever talk about doing any fire? Because y'all know me. I'm like, stick in your industry or at least something that makes sense, right? But I love that she was like, hey, yo, what's up? Like, can you get these? I'm like, no, I don't, I can't. But the fact, again, success leaves clues, right? She wasn't afraid. It's not about being afraid talking to me. It's about, she was willing to try it. She had the money. So she was like, let's go. Now, I would strongly recommend not, because I don't know how that works. I don't know how you get it or how they get delivered, whatever. And then also it's like Unison is not a really great site for, because it's like back auction. So usually it's like the lowest of the lowest of the lowest bidder. And most people lose money on Unison. If you don't lose money on, I even did a poll, like anybody that did well on Unison, please let me know. But it doesn't matter because, she realized maybe I shouldn't do that. No problem at all. And and she went, and now she got this fire ass pitch and she knows exactly what to do. And that only took some months. Because you've been winning, you've been at least almost winning or winning within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's still a win. A win. Okay, boom. Yeah. So that's how that came about.
So you called me crazy for trying to get some fire trucks. Let's leave that there.
It was cute though. I liked it. Yes. So you got focused.
Yep. So I got super focused and I'm like, I need to learn what's going on. And I'm very, like, I am big on mentors because I've had great people mentor me along the way, but I'm also big on self-education. I can't ask you how to go register on SAM because that is probably the easiest thing. And you can literally Google how to register on SAM. When I would like to, and I call it waste my mentor's time, I'm going to go and ask a substantive question. I'm not just going to go with something real stupid because they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. Like, why are you wasting my time with this nonsense? I'm not going to go and ask a mentor, how do I submit a bid? Again, I prefer to leave that time for advanced strategies. And when you do that, and I hope everybody here pays attention to this, when you do that, you are creating value because you're also now, you might spark something in your mentor that's new and they haven't thought about. But when you're just asking these real basic, and I'm going to call them basic because they're basic questions, you're probably wasting someone's time. Amen. And it shows you haven't done your homework.
Amen. And you have a lot of work to do. I mean, because if you come to anyone, and there's a lot of people on this call that are pretty, like, they understand government contracting, whether you want or not. So it's, if you're saying, how do I bid? You have about 90,000 other questions that are going to come after that. So it's like, okay, I can say, here's how you bid or here's how you register, but that ain't enough. That's not enough for anyone. So like to her point, you have to say, okay, I've already kind of researched this. I'm researching this till my eyes is bleeding from watching all the videos or listening. And you're like, okay, now I'm stuck, or now I'm ready for this next level, or I've tried this. This is working okay. I want to increase. And I think we can all benefit from that. And those like you, for sure, you mentioned no matter who, if you feel like you find value in that person, you're willing to listen to what they have to say to grow, even though you've built so many beautiful things, so many beautiful products to yourself. And that's important for everyone to kind of follow. So continue.
Well, we're not always the smartest person in the room. And even when we are, we're probably only the smartest in a particular subject. Everyone hasn't been rated at everything. I don't care who you are. Like, I'm sure there's something I could be Oliver Queen at. Like, come on. I'm 100% sure of that. Like, he can't just be the best.
At everything. Sure.
Everything. He's the best at a whole lot of stuff, but probably not. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to understand that there's value in other people, and it's up to you to really find what that is. You can't just dismiss without knowing what that person brings to the table. So I really just kind of started deep diving. And Sheena, one thing that I probably never shared with you, the reason why I stuck to watching your videos was because I saw the long nails. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why people won't watch your videos. And I love, like, as you can see, I'm real. I'm going to give it to you straight. And a lot of people don't really like real, and we're real humans behind these businesses. Like, we're not robots. We're people, and people that are wanting to do business together, because at the end of the day, on the other side of the government sit people as well. Like, they're humans. So I love having that human element. So let's go back to bidding. So I kind of learned how to do that. I did get a couple of debriefs. I certainly felt absolutely stupid in some of my debriefs, because I'm like, damn, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, but it takes for you to understand what you're missing in order for you to even know if you're ready. And one of my biggest things was, this is basic directions. Like, if I can't follow directions on how to do something, then can you really do this? But again, it goes back to you and you doing your inner work to determine like what's going on here. Because you can blame so many different things on other people, but what are you doing? Like, you control what you can control. So
that's right.
In November, I really started going through a lot of health issues, a lot of different things that were very personal. So I will keep it off the channel. But I would say is that's really what put a lot into perspective. Like, I literally became a stroke risk, a heart attack risk, and all that stuff. And I was only 31 years old. I just turned 32 in May. So if you're also trying to send me some money for a gift, then I welcome it. But
gifts, that's right.
But yeah, so I started going through so much that really started making me feel like, okay, I got to do something with my life. I got kids, I have a family. So what's up? So I really started focusing on bidding, but also learning about even the bidding process, because the bidding process is not just submitting a bid. What happens before? What happens after? And I found that at the local level, for me, I don't know for anyone else, but for me, I thought it was a little bit easier, because then people were a little bit more accessible than a lot of these contracting officers at the federal level. So by the grace of, and now I can give you a rundown of the contracts that I've won, but I don't mention pricing for each specifically, because I do learning and training. So pricing is my competitive advantage, as you can know. But won my first contract December 2023. That was $100,000.
Wait. I before you even say what it's for, because remember when she said she started, she was going to conferences in the summer for her company that she was working for, and then she was like, "Wait a minute, like, what you talking about? I want to do that for my own company." And then a couple of months later, after the fire trucks, then she was like, "You know what? I am going to submit bids. I'm going to put these proposals together. I'm going to sit through this painstaking abuse that these contracting officers are going to give me, and I'm going to take it on the chin, and I'm going to go ahead and move forward." And that's what she did. So you got the first one, December. Woo, that's some Christmas money, okay? $100,000. And what was it for?
Professional development services. So again, trainings, and it's for like management styles, dealing with difficult employees, and it happens both virtual and in person. It really depends kind of what they want. So that was the first one. January, I kind of like I had already submitted so many different bids, but January I took a pause because that's when my stepdaughter passed away. So
Mm.
I'm like, I'm not going to submit any new bids. I'm really not going to do anything then. But come around February, ended up winning another one. And it was titled exactly the same way, professional development services. One thing that's key here, guys, if you have a contract that's titled something and you can start showing that you're having performance here, go after the same things. Like it's just easier if you don't have the past performance that they're asking you for, like just start going after that. Like 3 of my active contracts right now have the same exact name and they're in 3 different states. So Arizona,
Wow.
Texas, and Ohio.
I'm
So
sorry, what was the first one?
Arizona, Texas, and Ohio. So, and again, they're all professional development services. So it's not like I'm going left field or like I'm trying to sell you a fire truck now. No, no, no. I'm sticking to what I know and just doing the things that I know.
And are
But
you going in person for those, or you said virtual and in person, right?
we create
Wow.
a training schedule. So it really depends on what the schedule falls on for me to go in person or to kind of do it virtual. A lot of people are, and this is something that a lot of the local, even local agencies are battling. People don't want to come back to work. They don't want to come back into the office. However, they're paying all this money for these office buildings. They got to use it. But that is still a big issue, at least with my clients, is a big issue. Their employees don't want to be there, but that also helps me because it diminishes any travel cost that I have to like. It keeps more money in my pockets because I had already baked in travel. So
Okay. So with that, these are all local contracts. These are not federal contracts.
I don't hold anything at the federal level.
And her first contract was 100 bands. Nah.
Yeah.
So local, hello local.
Yeah, and so that was then. I would say April was a really good month because April 2 contracts back to back for strategic support and a lot of professional support for school districts. So right now in Texas, I have 4 active contracts and they're all school districts.
Wow. I tell you all about the school system. So is that the 2 that you got that you showed me?
Yes,
So
yes.
she's
So
like,
I was scared.
she's like, have you? And it's funny because if I say the way I'm gonna say it is gonna sound like it braggadocious, but this is not the way it came out. Okay. She was like, have you ever won 2 contracts in 30 minutes? I was like, what? What do you mean? Of course not. Who has? She has. I'm like, what? And she showed me the screenshot. And you said you thought it was like a mistake, maybe, or like something.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of, I call it scammy whammies on the internet. So I had to check back. What did I submit? Who did I submit it to? Who's reaching out? I even called one of the ladies and said, "Hey, I'm such an." I mean, I have to verify because it was like at 2:30 something that I got an award letter, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm hype," but it's like I'm hype, but also Sheena, what a lot of people don't understand when you're doing the work, you tired ass. Like you tired. So I'm like, yes, we won this award, but I'm like, crap, I got this report due tomorrow or something like that. So
Yeah.
I kind of left it there and I said, let me kind of go back to this email when I was done with, you know, with what I was doing. And then I go back 30 minutes to the email and I'm like, there's another award letter here. So I'm like, all right, something's going on. And like the only person that I can kind of reach out to ask, like, what is this was you. So I send you screenshots and I'm like, what is going on? I got these 2 award letters. What does this mean? Are they lying to me? Um, but
This
yeah,
could
it
be
was
real.
literally within 30 minutes of each other. And I'm like, oh shit, it's
Amazing.
actually working now. That's how I
That
felt.
amazing. You put in the work. So it's deserved. I know you put in a lot more, probably more biz than I do, and you are sticking in your realm and you're making it make sense to you. And I want to cover a couple of these questions, a couple of these statements, and we're going to come back to the one that you put me onto. And now I've been damn trying to find them. Okay. Lord. So Jerome said, don't get stuck. Look for solutions. They will come. Humility for sure. That was in relation to going to someone like, hey, maybe this person we can exchange value. So shout out to Renzel. He submitted his first bid. Boop, 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 boop. We celebrate all wins over here. Awesome, Renzel. Boom. Let's go. And then Side Hustle 24/7. I have a question, ladies. So I'm learning so much. Thank you. Okay, I understand we need to read a solicitation. I agree. Is that all the details on the page at SAM.gov or the PDF document attachment?
I can answer that, Sheena. I think I
Okay.
know what she's asking. When you're looking on SAM.gov, that itself is not the solicitation. There will be a PDF and different documents that are going to be attached. One of the things I would also suggest, follow that notice, because if there is an amendment or something there, you will miss it if you are not constantly looking at that. And there are some COs that if you don't sign the amendment, you're not even acceptable. They're just going to dismiss your proposal completely. Trust me, it's happened to me. Begging ain't going to get you to do it. Pretty face ain't going to get you to do it. You need to be able to do what they're asking you to do. So that's really what it is. So read all the documents that are attached. It's not just going on SAM and reading what's there.
That's right. And a lot of the on SAM is not even going to show the statement of work on the page. It's going to be in the documents anyway. So always look at the documents. Don't even, I mean, really, it's just the stuff that's on the page is a reiteration of what's on the document. So, So Renzel, the course helps so much. That's right. One of my students. Definitely getting going. He just started like, what is this, June? Last month. So love it, love it, love it. Help with the proposal, right? That's right. Because I'll be like, just like she said, there's several methods to this because proposal versus quote and all those. Thank you, Renzel. And so Side Hustle 24/7. I'm new to this space, watching and reading everything GovCon. Okay, so just keep watching my videos. That's all you need. Just saying. So sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Okay. Jerome said local is key. Also a huge supporter, Jerome. The one for educational development staffing contracts, is the individual doing the work brought on as a W-2 or a 1099?
1099, but it depends. When you grow and you have something that requires, let's say, a training to be completed consistent, then you might want to put them on as W-2 because for trainings, 1099s are expensive. So you might want to consider that. People with master's degrees, PhDs, they will be charging you. They're not, I mean, their education backs up their story, so they will be charging you a whole bunch of money.
That's very true. And that goes back to the word that I'm not going to say, but when you're just looking for someone and you're not like in the industry, one of the things I realized even with just subcontracting, right, is even my accountant told me that, my pricing when I subcontract, it kills me instead of just having the people internally. So if I have a cleaning contract and I hire out a company, let's just say it's 100,000, I might pay that person 75,000. But if there was an employee, I might be paying them 40,000. So really, it's like you pick your poison, right? Like which would you rather have? Yes, employees are a headache, but if you have a service that's super saturated and you need to try to cut every dollar, then you might need to bring those workers or that work internally. So you got some kudos. Boop, boop. Oh, Chef B also said that's the reason why, is because of my nails. So I'm not changing. Look, I was restricted for 20 years in the Army, okay? I came out and went all the way rogue. So whoever don't like it, no problemo. Go to someone else's channel. No qualms. No qualms. So Nate Fall Guys? Nate Fall says, I've watched a lot of different coaches on YouTube. I'm even involved in a program and watch your channel and gain more from you and your guests. You drop bombs every single video that I've seen. So you should have just came over here to the winning team. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just saying. Much love. Thank you so much. DR in the house. Okay, Jeffrey. I've been to DR once. I've been to DR once. It's a beautiful country. Beautiful country. Okay. So one more thing. CD Parker said reading that cuts out a lot of the competition. Oh my, yo, that is a comment of the night. That is the comment of the night. That says everything. We could just stop the stream right now.
Yeah.
That says everything. She said it earlier. You reiterated. Read it. Read. Okay. Boom. One more thing. Keith, I can't wait to share first win. Yes, it'll be I'll be the happiest mofo out there. I can't wait for you to share as well. I'll be wanting people to win. I'll be wanting y'all to get this money. Okay. That's why I get on YouTube and when my voice is all crazy and everything. Okay. All right. So going back to you, I'm sorry. So you transition out. You won 2 contracts in 30 minutes. That is a whole flex. That's a flex, right? So those are for like all around education. So when she mentioned this to me, I was like, dang, like I got a little degree or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I teach a little some Texas A&M. I teach there twice a year. I'm like, She was like, yeah, they have motivational speaking contracts. I was like, say what now? What?
Yes.
And so share with us it was a public speaking contract, right? That you went after.
Yeah, and I can share exactly who it was for. So Wake County School Board District, they have tons of conferences all the time. So they're always looking for keynote speakers. This one was specifically keynote speakers. So for me, I'm like, okay, I've done keynotes before. I can definitely do this. And I had my pricing structured accordingly. I think it was a 90-minute keynote, and like the whole day you had to stay there just in case if people had questions, after your keynote. I think I priced it for like $12,500 for the day. I lost that bid and I'm mad because I'm like, what in the world?
I get $12,000 for one day.
But then this is the kick where I get my debrief. The person that won bid at $29,000 and they won at $29,000. So I'm like, say what now? That person getting almost 30 grand for a day. Like, that's my contract. I want it back.
I don't care if we talk about peanut butter. I will get up there and tell you about Jiffy, Skippy, and all of them. What?
The debrief was probably one of the biggest eye openers for me because the solicitation clearly stated this is not based on price. It's based on best value.
Wow.
Best value doesn't always mean if you go low on your price, you're going to win that contract. So whatever the person had, clearly it was better than me.
Wow.
Because they were able to win that. And then 29 grand for one day. Baby. We don't know many people doing that.
Look, I'm speechless. Look.
So now I am, and I can kind of share a little bit of what I'm going after now. So a lot of keynote speaking, a lot of motivational speaking. There's definitely what's called a lot of motivational coach, which is going to be for your educators, for teachers, which is so important because teachers need support these days. And I love finding contracts that mean something to me.
Wow.
I consider myself to be a mission-oriented organization. Yes, we're going to get to the bag, but how are we supporting the local communities that we live in? I mean, we have to live in them anyways, so why not? So I'm also going after a lot of programs that are focused on the disabled community. So that's really something that I want. Anything that deals with at-risk youth, I'm going after. So it's really those projects that I guess give me life, but also pockets. I mean, why not get the best of the both worlds? So that's really what I say when I say there's everything for everyone out there. So I've been asked, like, what should I do? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to do? And they're like, well, what I want to do doesn't make any money. And I'm like, I guarantee you what you do makes you money. Then I'm followed with the question of what's the easiest bid? The easiest bid for me is not the easiest bid for you. I can't tell you what the easiest bid is. Like, I just can't.
Right. Right. I say that all the freaking time. So it goes back to your strong suits, what comes naturally to you and what you're willing. I was in IT for 20 years. You cannot pay me enough to go into IT. I don't give it. You know how many people are like, Sheena, you're being stupid. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to do it. I don't care. I'll scrub toilets. I do not want to deal with IT, period. So I definitely, I say that all the time. Me and you have had the conversation about people not really knowing, because a lot of people just really, everyone's not a business owner. I mean, I'm sorry, that may be a wake-up call to some people in this process, but success leaves clues. You may not be a bum. You may be the best employee ever. And I value great employees, but everyone's not meant to be up for 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. Everybody ain't built like that. So it may not be your thing, and government contracting will let you know very quickly if it's your thing.
It's so how moving pieces, a lot
of moving pieces. I mean, even down to who's going to help you, with the solicitations. My daughter helped me at the beginning. She was 14 years old, and she can run circles around probably most of the people that I hired. And I didn't even know. I was like, here, do this. I didn't even think that it was hard. I just gave her the instructions. She did it. And then getting new people, I'm like, I know damn well I didn't explain this to you 50 times. My 14-year-old was able to do it. But, it's just some people are just different, and that's okay. So where do you find your solicitations?
So everyone is aware of SaaS, which is like software as a service. For me, I use RAS, which is research as a service. So I'm always going to go to the websites that are going to do the automatic research for me. I don't got time to spend hours doing that stuff. So I think you use some of them. So like GovTribe, delivery, it's really going to be those where you can just filter to what you do, and it's going to show you everything everywhere. So those are probably going to be my top ones. Now, OpenGov holds a very dear place in my heart because that's where I won my first contract. So I love OpenGov, and it's free. Like, it's literally free. I love Bonfire, but I like the premium paid version for Bonfire because you can bid globally. Like, you can bid in the Bahamas, you can bid everywhere through the premium version of Bonfire. Yeah, I lost a bid in the Bahamas, and I priced really low because I just wanted to go, and yeah. It was training in the Bahamas. Like, you were gonna go and train the parks and cultural something team. I was excited. I wanted to go.
That sounds very exciting. I've been trying to get these embassy contracts, but these jokers do not answer the email. You hear me? We've been harassing them. So that might be okay. Bonfire. I know I've used Bonfire because agencies use it, but I never went into it organically and just started doing a search. So that's really good. She dropping gems, y'all. Are y'all listening? You're like, I've been on SAM all day. You in the wrong place. She's doing local, and she's targeting school systems. Training and education. It's like, hello, like, if you really think about, okay, if who buys what I sell, like, she went straight to the source. And I think you even share with me that you have like kind of proposed training to different school systems. Like, they didn't even have it out for bid. You're like, hey, y'all need this. Okay. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. So I'm located in Charlotte. They were one of them, and they're actually the biggest local district here. I went over to them and I'm like, listen, I think you need this. And they're like, well, how do you know that? And I'm like, because I've been going to these schools for free, talking to these kids, and I know they're missing this. So I was able to put a proposal together, speak to the director of partnerships, and then I entered. It was through a partnership. That's how I entered into CMS. And now I'm also negotiating for an additional year with the specific school, because now I'm going to kind of leave the district alone, and I'm going to stick only to a school, which is still so amazing. But I can tell you what I do for them. Like, for them, it was monthly workshops for the students, and it was focused on entrepreneurship and creative arts for the students. Them students are dope as hell. They love me. They want me to go back. Again, it's doing something that I used to do for free. Like, you get it? So Why
Wow.
not get paid for the things that you were probably going to do anyways? You
And the
know,
school, go ahead, sorry.
yeah, it's in the school system. So,
And they have the budget, especially like some of these public school systems. I know Atlanta public schools, they get all the money, even though they had that little scandal. Don't pay attention to that. They get a lot of money. So they're like, they may not even have, this is what I found. A lot of times they don't even have time to figure out what they need. They have a very strict curriculum, but if they can add with the grants and stuff that they get, if they can add something and someone's like right place, right time, right person, she created her own contract. That's she if that was the only contract she had, she has a government contract. She created it. It didn't go out for bid. They didn't even know they needed it. She told them they needed it. So that's also a way. Like if you're the PTA president at your kid's school or whatever, you're the even if you work there or used to work as a custodian or as a I was thinking of a cafeteria lady. You can say, look, these kids' food was never being prepared correctly. I'm retired now. So I'm coming back and telling you this is what you need to implement. Something like that. We can't tell you every single detail of what you need to do. You have to think inside the box and outside of the box. She thought outside of the box. She's like, I've already been doing this. They kind of know me. Hey, let me add this razzle dazzle onto what I was doing and charge you for it. Y'all got the money. Let's go.
and that's
Basically, yeah.
that. Sheena, a lot of the things that people don't understand, like that also created past performance for me. That's a government entity. I mean, it is.
It is.
No, I'm coming here monthly. Y'all know my work. When I finished, I had to put a report together with data of like what happened, what did we do, what's the satisfaction, how does it compare to the beginning to now? Like, I
Wow.
mean, I still had to do that. So again, it's still past performance. And a lot of people, I tell them, get creative about how you're going to get to where you want to get. If you are expecting to go through the traditional routes, and this is from what I've seen, I don't know what others have seen, but the people that are wildly successful, they're not rational people. They're not thinking about, I'm going to walk this straight line and I'm going to get it together. No, you have to jump, skip, make a split on the way, go a few steps back. So it really is all about that creativity. And a lot of people, I'm sure they come to you, Sheena, they expect you to be creative for them. Like, no, you have a brain. You have to think. You have to think about what's going on. Like, I don't know if we have anyone here from California. If you are, shout that out. But the
Yes.
Olympics are getting ready to start in California. It's in like 2 years. And guess what? They are already recruiting people for all their stuff in the Olympics. Like they need people to do training, staffing, cleaning, venue, photography. They're even looking for that aerial photography, all that stuff.
That's right.
So
Be in the building.
be aware of what's going on. The PGA tournament stuff, that's also going to happen next year. And they're looking for only local vendors. So if you fall within those local streets, you're not competing with the big giants or the people out of state. You're literally competing with those that are in your direct area. In your direct area might have a bunch of lazies. So if you just show up, like I'm serious, if you show up, you win already. Like, so are you willing to go the extra mile? And that's like you said, a lot of people aren't meant to be entrepreneurs. You tell some people, yo, this week you're gonna work 60 hours, but you might not make nothing. However, next week you might work 5 and you're gonna make 30 grand. A lot of people won't take it because they're only thinking about that 60 hours.
Yes. And the money. Like you hit the nail on the head. You have to be so irrational you got to be crazy. She left a 6-figure job. I left a 6-figure job. A lot of people on this call have left good money, good government jobs to to say, I don't know what I'm going to make tomorrow. You got to be irrational. You
Yeah.
got to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. And some people are doing this while they're still working. She did it. I did it. So you're like, I got some free time. I want to take my free time and build this imaginary thing that hasn't even produced any money yet. How crazy do you have to be? So it has to be something. When I did like a little poll a while back of entrepreneurs born or they made, And I ended up thinking that some people are kind of made because they kind of pushed it later on in life to do it. But I really think there's still something brewing within you to say, I'm going to do this. And I don't even know what the result's going to be, but let's go. It's a really scary thing, and you have to do it scared. You have to be, willing to get the fight back, willing for people to say, Sheena, I hate your nails and your hair, and just still be like, meh, okay, no problem. I'm still going to try to push the agenda that I have. She pushed the agenda. This is what needs to happen, and I'm going to do it no matter how you guys feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
And
Let me get to a. Oh, go ahead. Yep.
I was just gonna say, like, and I have staff now, so I gotta pay people. So I can't tell my people tomorrow, I ain't got no money to pay you. Like, you have to figure it out. If you are not the person that wants to figure things out, then you shouldn't be the solution providers. You should be the client, because you can't figure it out. So I think you need to really understand what it is you're doing. And if you're fixing a problem and getting paid to fix that problem, go and fix it. Don't ask me for help. Don't. Or give me the money and I will solve it for you, but just pay me.
That part. That's so true. It's this, and some people, look, I'm not the phone person. I'm getting better with being the in-person person. But some people, they are shaking hand and kissing baby like extraordinaire. That's their thing. Yeah, that's her. That's her all day. She'll be like, hey, so, that's a superpower, and everyone doesn't have that. I can sit behind the computer for 48 hours straight and not even bat an eyelash. And some people can't do that. So if you're not that person, hire someone to do it, get a partner, the yin to your yang. You have to figure it out. It's no one else to figure it out. You can go through programs and listen to other people and say, what they said was accurate. Maybe I need to do that. But it can't be, figure this out for me. No, you have to do the inner work, like she said earlier, like A said earlier. So is it LaDon Malone said, I agree with the nails and hair. Paramilitary and all worried about keeping your hair off your collar. I know. Now it's, look, you see it hanging? Hair down my back. Let me stop. Okay. So let me see. Yep, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'll be saying it all day. So also LaDon said, check this out, trying to bid on a lodging contract. I contacted a hotel, didn't hear from them. Come to find out that they said they couldn't block the rooms out because they're going to bid. Oh, wow. That's not funny. I'm sorry. That's effed up. But so I want to talk about that real quick before I have you continue, A. So with that, some of the things that will hurt you in contracting is when you just have this person that you don't know do the sub work for you. That can very much happen. Now, of course, this is a different situation, LaDon, where that's not how that situation worked. But when you're going to do contracts in different states and you're like, oh, I'm just going to find someone out there and let them go do it, what stops them from taking the contract from you? You don't know what the hell you're doing. And they do. And you just gave them an alley-oop to the contract. So I always say, if you're gonna sub, which I have, probably 75% of my contracts are subcontracted out. I would say try to build that relationship first. You're not gonna always be able to do that, but try to build that relationship first. Okay. So she has a continue on in the story. They told me that they were within their rights to bid because they were a franchise hotel, but basically me bring the contract to them. They basically shut me out of competition. Not fair. On to the next girl.
Can we stop there real quick?
Yep.
This ain't fair. In no angle that you go to, it ain't fair. And I think a lot of us have to put our emotions to the side and just focus on what's there. And one of the biggest things that I tell people is you can bid a lot on these different contracts, but find something that you are good at. Because if you're bidding with you, no one is going to take that away from you. When you're completely depending on someone else to give you the thing or do the thing, that person, I mean, we all know people be messed up at times. So if they go and do the swipe and don't swipe it on you, you can't be mad. Like, you can't be mad because business is not fair. It's just not.
Right. It's I would say contracting, because I think about other industries like real estate. Some things are dog eat dog, but I mean, you got to always have protection for yourself. And one of those things is like being certified, and where the person can't do the contract without you. There's things, methods in place where you can kind of help yourself with that. But like she said, look, nothing. People be peopling, and they don't give a damn about you and your raggedy business. I promise. And neither do these contracting officers. Like, some of us have gotten lucky. They've taken a chance on A. They've taken a chance on me. Some of the people in the chat, someone took a chance on you, or you just showed up the right place, right time. But these people don't give a damn about your little business. I promise you. How much do you care about McDonald's when they mess up your burger? And that's a large corporation. How much do you badmouth Walmart when they forget to put your lip gloss in the bag? And that's a large corporation. You think they care about you? You have to fight for you. And every day do you have to fight. Everything's cute till you got to run payroll. I always say that too. Like, when you got to pay people, it's a whole different stratosphere.
I'll be mad. I'll be big mad.
You be like, God damn it. Payroll, press the button. Okay, we done.
Sheena, really quickly, can we stop there real quick? When it comes to, like you said, these people don't care about your business. I don't think y'all understand when y'all say y'all calling someone and they don't answer, or they're just telling you to email them. These people busy. Like, they don't know you specifically. When you guys, because I hear so much slander on the SCORE mentors. Man, these people are doing a job also. Like, they can't just sit there and write your proposal for you. Like, you have to understand what is your role and how are you going to utilize these resources to help you. And by helping you, the help you need might not be writing a proposal. It might be that person making an introduction for you to get somewhere or do something. Like, learn what's what and stop thinking that is personal. This ain't personal at all. There's so many different companies that are reaching out on a daily basis, and these people got paperwork. They got to make calls. They got to satisfy their bosses. Again, they're fulfilling a job. So, like, no, they don't care about us. Who are we? Nobody. They trying to also impress their bosses and get a promotion, get a higher salary. Meanwhile, we're over here thinking they don't like me because they didn't answer. Okay, call the next one and the next one. And the next one. Like, it's not going to stop. There's always going to be contracting officers. Call the next person.
Ooh, that is like the gem of all gems. Get out your feelings. And this is not directly toward LaDon, but this is just in general, because I hear it all day, every day. And you really, like, you have to have the thickest skin, alligator skin, dinosaur skin, to be a business owner outside of government contracting. This is real. And I want you guys to really, really feel us on this, because I don't want people to go into this and like not win a contract and they think it's the end of the world. Get a contract and get canceled and it's the end of the world. Getting a contract and it goes down a fiery blaze of hell. It still ain't the end. It's still not the end. I told you I've been canceled a few times. I'm like, oh well, sometimes it was a headache anyway. I'm glad it's over. So it's no thing. Like, there's nothing stopping me from going after the next contract. It's free to bid on these contracts. Like, what? When I was doing real estate, I had to pull money out my ass to buy these houses. There's no money coming out of my pocket for these. So, like, what's the problem? I guess y'all got to do other businesses that are really shitty before you go into government contracting, because, baby, this is a breeze. I mean, this stuff that's stressful. But as far as like getting the opportunities and bidding, that part is not hard. You just got to not care about your feelings, for real. So, okay. Wow, we got 30 minutes left and we haven't even got halfway through the questions. Okay. So, I am considering getting GovTribe. Do you think it's worth the money? I had GovTribe. Have you used it?
I have, but we are going to go back with, do I think it's worth the money? I can't tell you what's worth your time, because I'm going to go ahead and equate the money to the time. Do you want to do the research, or do you want to explore with free stuff before you decide to commit to something? But that's not something that truthfully me or Sheena can answer. Like, I would say go and play with something that's free before you decide to invest in something, if you don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. And then a lot of these websites have a free trial. So in that 7-day, 14-day free trial, you need to be focused. Don't wait until day 13 and you're like, oh, I forgot I had this free trial ending, and then you pay for a first month and you've never looked at it. That's where you're like, oh, it doesn't work because y'all not working. Not saying luxury car store been around for a minute, so I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying like, just make it make sense for you. You got to. This is a whole lifestyle. That's why I put at the bottom. She made government contractor her lifestyle. This ain't no play. This is every day, all day, every day, all day. She's like, oh, I'm going here for this one reason. I'm gonna meet with a few contracting officers or go here. She's like, every mission is a twofer or a threefer. Best believe when I'm going here, I'm networking. So it's a lifestyle. It's a complete, consumption of your life. So Sarah says, sorry for your loss. Just received an invite to participate in a strategic sourcing event for a service I was already bidding on. Hope that was a good sign. Yeah. Yeah, they usually will send you if you're registered in your county or state. That is good. OMG. So Yellow Rose 71 said, OMG, I live in Charlotte and used to work for CMS. I left in 2001. Oh, that's the school system, right? CMS. Got you. Okay.
Hit me up, Yellow Rose.
Okay, Yellow Rose. Look, if she don't reach out, let me know. Let me know. Okay. CMS paid big money for contract services and for the after school enrichment program. So that's good to know.
Sheena, real quick. Yeah, I don't like after school enrichment programs because of the parents. Y'all are annoying. And I'm a parent and I am annoying. So if y'all over here doing something to my babies, y'all gonna get it. So I don't really I stay away from after school enrichment programs, but they are great money.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. My kids are grown, so I don't even that is out my mind. I'm like, after school, what is that again? Oh yeah. Out my mind completely. It's been a minute. Okay. Question from the one. How is it being an entrepreneur now versus being an employee?
Oh, that's a good question, but I'll tell you, I feel like I went from a corporate slave to a personal slave because now I owe me a whole lot. And I'm not about to get on here and tell y'all this is the most beautiful thing ever. It can be depending on what your end goal is. I loved being an employee. I had no problem. I made great money. They used to fly me out to fancy places, fancy conferences. So like I didn't have any quarrels with being an employee at all. But an entrepreneur, you discover a brand new self from you. And if you're not discovering a brand new self, you ain't doing it right. And you're not trying to grow. Because if you're not uncomfortable and uncertain in all these different steps you're about to take, that means you're not coming out of your way to do the things that you need to do. Like, yes, I am the kissing people, shaking hands, whatever it is, kissing babies.
Yeah, kissing babies.
I've always been that person, but now it's a completely different handshake. Because when I'm going to go and shake a hand, I already feel like I need to know who is this person? How can I add value? How can they add value? Like it's no longer for fun. When you're an employee, you can do a whole lot of stuff because your check gonna come every 2 weeks no matter what. When you're an entrepreneur, hey baby, you might not get paid till 45 days after. Like, are you comfortable with being in that place? And most people will tell you no. So for me specifically, I would just say is being an entrepreneur can be beautiful depending on what you make it. I focus a lot on my health. Like health is number one, is a non-negotiable. Got to go work out. I got to meditate. I have to do these things in order to keep me right. I also focus a lot on my spirituality, my faith. And that's also what keeps me sane. And my third thing is I focus on having deep connections with people. If I don't like you, I ain't going to do business with you. Don't call me. If we can't connect, like I'm in a place where I can choose the projects that I want to work on. And if it ain't going to be with you, then I don't want it. And I'm okay with turning down that kind of money. So I'm all about what is going to help me get to the next level, but what is right. If it ain't right, we ain't about to do this.
I love that. And this is one, I only heard maybe one or two entrepreneurs when I was on this journey. Like I was reading everything. I was audiobooking everything. Any leader, industry leader, Richard Branson, anyone, right? I was like, I'm following every step that they say. And there was only a couple of them that said, trust your gut, you know? And I was like, it was like, I'm taking in, chew the meat, spit out the bones, whatever. And I'm like, I'll see if that ever comes into play. It has always come into play. And I'll ignore it. I'll be like, man, we talking about 800,000. I don't give a damn what my gut say. We about to go after this money. And it goes down in a fiery blaze. So to her point, I don't want anyone to feel that, being an entrepreneur is shitty. If you're brand new to being an entrepreneur and you're like, oh, I will never do it, and now they're talking about it, it's really about, what works for you in your mind. Like if you know that you have to incorporate meditation, you have to keep your spirituality, keep your family balance. You know these things about yourself. Don't change those things when you become an entrepreneur. Just find a new way to enhance those things or bring those things into your schedule, because now your schedule is probably going to be much different than a 9 to 5 or a 7 to 5. Some of us that were corporate 7 to 7, whatever the case may be. Now you 25/8. And while you sleeping, you're still problem solving. So, just there's so many elements, and it's deeper than government contracting. This is business stuff we're talking about. This is about being a business owner. So when you get your first contract, guess what? You are now a business owner. Whether you want to, whatever flavor you want to put on it, you are a business owner now. That's what the government is looking at you as, and that's what they expect. Yeah. So you have to get your mind.
Sorry, yep. My last statement would be, I'm a better business owner than I am of government contractor. And there's a big difference in that.
Ooh,
big difference. I'm already thinking 18 months down the line. If you work in corporate, like your strategic plans that you're creating, they're not for today, tomorrow, or next month. You're thinking of what's going to happen for the next 18 months. You're having projections. A lot of people tell me, why do I do certain things that I do? And it's because I know that anything that's big was once small. So if you're not prepared when you're small and you're doing the work to get big, what are you supposed to do in between? Like I have SOPs for every single area of my business, and I don't even have that many staff. I have a whole employee handbook. I have robust systems that bigger companies use, and people are like, you don't need that right now. And I'm like, no, because if let's say the $10 million contract come through, what am I supposed to do? Try to figure it out then? Because I know it's coming. I don't know about y'all, but I know it's coming because I'm doing the right things and I'm kind of being consistent. So I would say when it comes to that, I am a better business owner than I am of a government contractor. And it's not just government contracts. There's corporate contracts. There's so many different, there's foreign contracts. There's everything out there. So you can't really limit yourself because you might not know where you shine. This might not be for you. You might shine elsewhere.
Tell them. And don't get frustrated when you don't get your cage code. Now you're like, you don't get your cage code. Now government contracting is shitty. I don't want to do it. It's over with. Like she just said she bid on something for the Bahamas. Ain't got nothing to do with no cage code. So just yeah, let me not get on my soapbox too much because we almost running out of time. Okay, so is it Sabine said she's in California? We got a few Cali folk. Okay. Gail, I'm new to this arena. I'm in Cali, looking forward to getting in. Let's see. DIY My Ninja showing up on halftime, showing up on time is half the battle. Yes, I think that's what you were saying earlier. So make sure you hit that like button when y'all come in. There's a lot of people, girl. You didn't brought the boys to the yard. This is amazing. There's over 100 y'all in here. Okay, everybody, please like. Let's see here. Hey. So when people come in like a little later, when they catch the replay, they can still write in the chat. So that's why it seems like some of the answers are delayed. So LaDon said, I thought there were rules to prevent big business from doing this, but I get it. That's actually a really good point. So no, if there's a set aside, So think about, there's large companies that do government contracts. AT&T gets government contracts. I mean, that's a huge corporation. Starbucks gives government contracts. So there's the only thing that prevents them is if it's a set aside. Set asides are for small businesses. Okay, so Sheena, I'm working on a local contract to clean windows, but there's no site visit. What is a good questions I can ask to the POC to take back to the sub to get a rough estimate? That's not really a topic for right now, but I guess I would just ask how many windows, square feet, without going too much into detail for this particular video. And running for an RTC opportunity. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what RTC is.
Explain what RTC is, Derwin the Destroyer. Oh, so some people answering it already. See, look, I waited too long to answer, so they're already answering about the windows. Carl Gibo. Oh, what's up? Attorney Carl Gibo in the building. Also, amazing interviewee. He was dropping gems. I was like, Carl, you ain't never told me that. Consider Apex Accelerators will often provide bid opportunity search results for free for small businesses that become clients by attending their intro to government contracting workshops. So everybody just needs to go to the intro to government contracting workshops. That will answer so many of your questions. Let's see. Oh, okay, DIY my ninja. What's up? Thank you so much. I saw you earlier on in the chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. And I think I apologize. Keisha's like, dang, you ain't even finished the sentence. What are some other platforms you recommend other than GovTribe that are free?
So, like I mentioned, OpenGov is free, and there's so many different organizations that use it, so many different agencies, municipalities. So that will probably, like, it's my favorite. It's so intuitive. It's very easy to bid on it. So I like that one. Like, guys, Bonfire is also free. It's just that I like to have the premium version because it gives me a dashboard where I can see that I've bid on everything. But if you want to get Bonfire, Bonfire is free. And there's over 1,000 agencies that are using Bonfire right now. So you can go and just search at their list, but you'll just have to register individually. Whereas if you have the premium one, it's one registration, you sign on and it shows you everything. But those are probably my free ones, my best free ones. Now, Emma is amazing if you're in Maryland. So I love Emma. I love Eva, which is also the one for Virginia. I love EBP, which is the one for North Carolina. So it really, like, where do you want to bid? If you just want to focus on local, just always enter like your city or your state and the words procurement right after it. And you will find that's going to show you. But also there's little itsy bitsy like transportation authorities that are smaller within each state. They might have their own platform or their own way. So like there's not one single way, but all of those are free. If you just kind of start searching overall procurement in North Carolina, it's going to kick you with so many different resources that are free that you can just go into.
Yes, that starting at your city, county, state, even if you just start at your state, usually they'll have almost all of the city and counties underneath it, but then still, start where you are and then branch out. Like she said with the Bonfire, if that went over anyone's head. So some local agencies use Bonfire for you to find a solicitation and submit through. They just use that as a service. And so you can register, like, let's just say, I'm just going to throw out cities. They're not in the same state. Austin, Dallas, Atlanta, Lawrenceville, they may all use Bonfire. So you have to go and register for the Lawrenceville Bonfire, register for the Atlanta Bonfire. But if you buy Bonfire, just bonfire.com, and you go and register yourself, then you'll have access to all the things that you have access to, which is what, the whole country, the whole world? You said global, right?
They have the Caribbean. They have parts of, I saw some stuff in Italy, and then like the whole US.
So that's a really good, I mean, I always go with free first, because you don't know if you want to do this for real. And then I always use GovDirections. GovDirections is my favorite. Just, I don't know why. I guess after all this time, I'm just used to it. But I love GovDirections, and they show local and federal, and it comes to your email. just like she said, based on whatever industry that you chose. So yeah, all right. So let's kind of speed through this a little bit. Okay, so again, thank you. I appreciate it. Please watch the video, fam. Such authenticity. You must have came in late, but I appreciate you so much. Really, really appreciate it. So Shakira Bailey. Oh, I think I know you. Okay. What's up, girl? Can me as a prime get my sub to bid bond for us? Are you familiar? I'm familiar with bid bonding. Are you?
I am, but from the friends that I've acquired here that are local, it depends what that solicitation is stating. If they require you to have that, then no, you can't use them. If they're not specific, ask. I know some people that if they're not specific in the solicitation, they will go ahead and do it with the sub. And guess what? It's all play because no one said don't do it. So for me, I would just read the solicitation and just focus on what they're telling you there. So the answer is it depends.
Maybe, and it depends. Always. That's the perfect answer. Couldn't have answered it better myself. So this is really important too. So Keith said, I like how she says she's doing the right thing. That rings loud. Doing the right thing always feels good. And not only that, it shows what's done in the dark. It's gonna come out. Like when there's a toxic environment created, all that stuff penetrates everywhere else. I've worked with large companies. Well, they're not large, but they're larger, small companies like making 30 million, 20 million. And I'm like, wow, they just seem like they got it together. They don't. They don't. And you can kind of, I didn't listen to my gut. You can kind of tell, and then it all imploded. So you definitely have to do business the right way. You won't have any regrets. I should have probably embellished on my PPP application, but I didn't do it. I did the right thing, and I didn't get hardly anything. You know what I'm saying? But I could have been an orange, and orange is not my color. So, we have to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And you don't want to jeopardize something that can be so lucrative and so important to your family. Okay. So thank you so much, Shakira. Okay. So we should already ask that question. Let's kind of glad through these. Okay. Carl Gibo again, excellent point about the different risks that you face an employee versus a business owner. Have recommended to several of my clients and colleagues to watch and subscribe to Sheenapreneur's channel. That's right, because this is where we get real. We really get real. So Face Sparkle Clean said, I have a walkthrough Tuesday for a local contract from an international airport I got fired from 6 years ago. I can't wait. That's how I'll be. I'll be like, hello, I'm here. It's good to see you. That's the type of time I'd be on, Faith. That's the type of time I'd be on, okay? So Valerie said, I'm in California. What are some questions to ask about leasing buildings? And do we have to pay up front if we secure a building before we win the contract? Do you know the answer to that?
I can answer this because I know someone specifically, and they're in the Atlanta area, and they focus a lot on real estate and leasing. This is and I'm going to put it in plain terms. Sheena, I need your house for an event. And you can tell me, yes, because I know you. And I'm going to tell you, but Sheena, I ain't got no money right now. And you're like, cool, don't worry about it. I know you. I like you. I trust you. Draft up the documents that says when you're going to pay me or whatever. Versus, I don't know, Valerie, lend me your house because I have an event. You're going to be like, I don't know you. Why am I going to trust you? What relationship do you have if you don't have the money to pay up front for that person to trust you enough so that you don't have to pay anything? Because I've seen it go both ways. I've seen people need the money up front in order to secure something, but I also see where the relationship is built. You don't need not one dime, because think about it from a real estate perspective. If I already have the building, I still got to pay my mortgage, whether someone comes and rents it or not. So I already banked on paying for that. Now, I can definitely let you hold it down if I know you. But if I don't know you, it's like, no, get out my face. And that's really how a lot of these people think. We really have to think about it. Why would I let you hold something for free? I don't know you. Does it make sense? So speak to them.
So I never really thought about leasing like that. I didn't understand when people were doing like subleasing, because I'm like, if you don't hold the deed or even the rental agreement, how are you able to lease? But you're saying that to get it is when you do know the owner. That's really the duh. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if somebody put something else in my mind, but basically it's about knowing the owner. Like, it doesn't even need to be a real estate agent or anything involved. It's about knowing the actual owner or building a relationship with the owner. You done taught me something tonight. Okay, I didn't realize that's how that went. I was totally confused. So there's the answer, Valerie. Me and you both learned something, because I didn't know nothing about the leasing when people asked me. So you mentioned, of course, you got your business, you got your family, you got to have at least a little bit of a social life. You got what, 13 siblings?
14. I'm 1 out of 14, but my mother also has an extra one that's not from my dad, but yeah, so it's
a lot. So how do you structure your day being everything to everyone?
That is probably the biggest struggle. And I know we're short on time, but I would just say is it really, I work Monday through Monday. There are no days off. So I like to be prepared and know what I have going on throughout the week. I do have an executive admin. She manages my calendar. So half the time she knows more than I know about what's going to happen throughout that week, just because she kind of structures it, makes sure that I have breaks and time in between. I don't like back-to-back meetings because that is it's just too much. Sometimes I need a break from me having a conversation with someone to just step back. Yes. Depending on the trainings that I have, if I have to travel or whatever, I have to bake that in. I meditate every single day. Doesn't matter what's going on. I have 2 little toddlers that are bad, super bad.
They're little about them babies.
They're little minions. But no, so just making sure they get to where they get to. If I'm traveling, then obviously I have to arrange care. But there's a question that came in: how do you manage work-life balance? You don't manage, you integrate it. And it's really making it fit. Like, I'm in my office right now and I have a little table back there where my kids read their books and color and all their stuff. And that is also still me spending time with them. They like telling me stuff, they like reading out loud. And I try to make sure that I am with them as much as I can be. So it's not a managing, it's really integration, because now this is part of what I do. Like, it's not going to get any easier. The more contracts, the harder it gets. Till then, you can kind of weather the storm of stepping back a little bit and having a well-oiled machine. But it doesn't happen overnight. My husband, like, y'all, I'm dressed, ready to go. As soon as I'm done with this live, like, my husband and I are having date night. So I make sure that we are doing stuff for us. We have to travel, make sure that I'm always with the family. So it really depends on what I have going on, but there are certainly like non-negotiables throughout my day.
Wow, I love that. I love it because it's really hard. And I'm just going to say this. And if you get mad, just say what you need to say in the comments. But it's really hard for a woman business owner, because, a lot of times we're still doing, if you were a stay-at-home mom and then you were an employee, or you were an employee and go to entrepreneurship and you do that transition, especially if, you had the same family during that transition, they're like, what the hell? Like, what you got going on? And so, you're still usually doing those same things. If you were cooking 5 days a week, that probably doesn't change too much. If you were picking up the kids, that maybe not change too much. And so, that's really important for people to know. I also don't necessarily subscribe to work-life balance. It's not really balanced. Somebody's going to be sacrificed, including your business, your growth, yourself, your self-care. As y'all can tell, I'm serious about my self-care. It comes first. Talk about it, because if I'm not happy and I'm looking all scraggly and mad, then I'm not going to be no good for anyone. And there's too many people relying on me. There's too many people relying on A. So what time do you get up? Or does it vary?
It varies. It really does vary. I would say July and August are going to be probably the toughest months of this year for me. So starting Monday, I have travel back to back for the next 4 weeks. So that's going to be a lot. And that is different because I haven't done that before. So it's going to be a little bit hectic. Different time zones and all of that. So I'll know my time is going to be completely screwed. But also, it's also the busiest time of the year, I guess, for federal bidding. I don't hold anything federal. I'm looking for something federal. And I've also formed strategic alliances with businesses that are bigger than me in order for me to be able to either be their sub or for them to be my sub. That's another thing, guys. Like, these bigger companies, they will be your sub in the right situation, depending how you come into them. So it's going to be a couple of busy months. So I don't know. I'll probably be up till 3 a.m. and have to wake up at 7. I don't know what that's going to look like.
Woo! Okay, so you're up at 7, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. And when you're not doing your training, like, let's just say it's a regular, I'm still trying to bid. I'm still managing the things that I have right now. Like, do you automatically go into your meditation? Do you automatically make breakfast? Like, what is a usual, because ain't no day light, right? But what's a usual light work day?
Yeah, I don't eat breakfast. I fast. I believe in cleansing. As you know, I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke.
Like, I do not drink alcohol. I said, oh, pour that margarita.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. I have 13 years. I don't even drink soda, so I don't put that in my body. So I wake up straight to meditating or just needing space for me, even if it's just quiet. Like, no kids, no nobody. I just need space for me. Again, no breakfast for me, but I do have some coffee. Coffee is life for me. I do make sure that the kids kind of get to summer camp because their social calendars are way better than mine. So they have a lot of stuff going on. So kind of get them to where they need to get to. Work out 3 times a week. If I can do more, then I'll do more. But I have my specific days. So like, Sundays are really preparation for the week. On Mondays are probably going to be the busiest days with meetings. Tuesdays are my sourcing days. So I focus on looking for every single opportunity that has been listed. And that's kind of what I'll do. Wednesdays, I usually have trainings on Wednesdays. And then after my trainings, I focus, like, that's my forecast day. So I'm already looking at what's coming out before it even comes out. Thursday are marketing outreach days. So that's kind of where I reach out to the people that I want to do business with, or whether it's an agency, whether it's a potential partner or a subcontractor, whatever it is. That's kind of how it is. Weekends, my social hours on the weekends are writing solicitations. Now, I do have a contracting analyst on my team, but she's currently like in training because she's new. And I want to make sure that she can kind of get the right guidance before she starts submitting, because I don't believe in submitting crap. Every opportunity is an opportunity to market the business. And whether we lose or win, I want to make sure we're being represented accordingly. So that's kind of how that goes. But I have days that are specific for different things. And I do believe in time blocking, because if not, we kind of wander off and do crazy things around.
I really suck at that, at time blocking. Like, I realize that I'm trying to incorporate that more, because I'm usually putting out a lot of fires. And that's gotten better in 2024. So I ain't gonna bash my team at all. But that, like, when some people say, oh, Tuesday's my such and such day, I'm like, oh, I envy that. Now, I have personally, I've incorporated dead weeks where I have no meetings, except for my one staff meeting that I have a week, but I don't take any other meetings for anyone. And that gives me time to like focus on business stuff, whether it's Foresight or Sheenapreneur. And also I stopped taking meetings on weekends and Friday and Saturday. So that I envy that. I envy the blocking, like, okay, this is going to be for this time, as if it's a meeting. But that is really, really important. That alone is a damn gem. Y'all need to drop a damn key. Drop a key. If you can find the key emoji, I don't know if it's in there, but drop something. Drop a good, nice, beautiful emoji in the chat, because these are the things that keep you sane when you have to manage we're not talking about, the ones who have, a contract off over yonder. You don't have to worry about it. I have to think about it. I don't have to think about my Philly contract or my Delaware contract. I forget they exist. But the ones that I got to be near and dear to, that A got to be near and dear to because she has to physically go there or whatever the case may be, then it's like, okay, I have to make sure I get some structure here. And by the way, I got a damn social life at least at some point. We met up and had some lamb chops. You know what I'm saying? It still had to be. We were like, okay, what time? Okay, I'm on the way. Like that was even structured, and that's how I live. I love that. I love that. So with that, you have the contracts that you have to physically go to. You have some that's virtual, and I'm sure sometimes they kind of overlap.
Sometimes it overlaps, but not really. I've been very good at not making it overlap. I've only had to use like an external trainer that was my 1099 once, and it was just because he was better at doing that training than I was. And I recognize that, and the goal is to build a relationship. And if I can build it with him being good, then I'm cool with that.
Right. No, that's good. Knowing your strengths and knowing your time. So this last and thank y'all for dropping the emojis. So this goes right into the next question, really the last kind of question I had for you. Do you guys have trainings on selling products to the government? Of course she does. So can you, well, I didn't even ask you like how many degrees, what your degrees are and how many you have. I was like, dang girl, you put me to shame.
Yeah, I have so I have two bachelor's degree, a bachelor's in science, bachelor's in arts, political science and pre-law. I also have multiple certifications for being a certified translator. So I have certifications both in Europe, in South America, and also in the US. I am a certified Scrum Master. I have taken over 10 different certifications for DE and I training. I also have like technical writing background. So I have those certifications, although I don't really like that and I don't advertise that much. But yeah, I guess I have a master's degree. As you guys heard, I went to law school for a year. I don't think I want to go back. I don't miss it. But I do have a master's in business administration, which is focused on economics. So yeah.
She the real deal, yo. She got creds, okay? So with that, she showed me this thing. She showed me this product, this spreadsheet. She's like, look. And I was like, what the hell? Spectacular product she built from scratch. So tell us about your dashboard, your products, your books.
Yeah, so and I'm gonna run through it quickly because I know we're a little bit over
It's
time.
okay. It's okay. We're over. There's still 100 people listening. They want to hear you, girl. Go ahead.
Well, then drop in the chat if y'all cool with like 10 more minutes. Ooh. Just write cool thumbs up or something. Because that's one thing. I love being respectful of everyone's time. I don't know what people got going on. But
look, y'all better drop that. You better drop an emoji. Drop a 10.
Yeah. When it comes to like right now, I believe in being able to be as effective as possible with whatever you have. When I started, no, I did not have all this money to go ahead and get all the fancy tools. So I started thinking, what are the tools that I already use, that I already have, and that I can just kind of build something from scratch. So initially, I focused on Excel. I mean, Excel has amazing capabilities. So I was able to build my own dashboards that are automated now in Excel. When I enter information, it's going to automatically calculate everything. So I am able to calculate kind of how many bids I've submitted, which I haven't mentioned it. I've submitted over 130 proposals in under 8 months. Yes. So if y'all mad because y'all submitting one a week, I don't know what to tell y'all. But I can capture how many proposals I'm submitting. I can go ahead and write my capture rate. So what am I winning versus, losing? I can go ahead and see the dollar amount that I'm bidding on, how much I've won, what is the average. I see in how many different states, countries, cities. I'm able to see the different platforms that I'm using. I think to me that's important to see, is it even worth, like someone asked about, is it worth it to pay for a platform? Well, if I'm winning a whole bunch of stuff there, then yeah, it definitely is worth it for me. Right. So that helps me kind of keep the financial aspect in place.
100 bid. Wait, let's
over 130.
Over 130 bids.
Yeah, and
And
I would,
remember, she hasn't even been doing this for a year.
yeah.
And some of us in this chat bid on one thing, an RFQ. You just submitted some numbers and you pissed at the whole government. She's like, well, because all that effort that she put in, like you never know how it comes back around full circle. I have lost bids and they came back the following year. And I was like, oh, you still remember me? Whatever. You never know. And you might run into those people. You might get a $2 million contract. And so that made up for all the other ones that she submitted. You never know. So it's like you got the Starbucks versus Walmart. You're gonna be putting in a whole bunch of bids, or you're gonna be making super powerful relationships. She's doing both because she's like, I'm trying to get to what I'm trying to get to, and eventually she's gonna be able to sit back and be like, I remember when I was working working Monday to Monday,
Yeah.
and it's happening for you already. So I'm just so proud of you. Go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. But so yeah, so I just literally developed my dashboard. It's automated now, so I just have to kind of enter what did I bid on this week, and it's going to automatically calculate everything for me. And it's pretty smooth. My team loves it because it also gives them perspective into what we got to do in order to reach our goals. Like we have goals as a team of how much we're going to make this year, and like we're hustling real hard to get there. So you need to know what are you after. Um, Before government contracting, like I was a children's book writer. So I focus a lot on being able to portray Black and Brown characters in children's books, as well as children with disabilities, because there's never. Oh, Crystal's here.
I was like, that got to be her real friend. Yes.
Crystal is inviting me. It's funny because Crystal met me and is already inviting me to one of her business ventures. She only focuses on corporate contracts, y'all. So,
Oh, I gotta
like,
get her on the channel too.
yes, Crystal
Hit
is.
me up, Crystal. Hit me up.
But yeah, so it's really focusing on kind of what's next. So with the books, now I am looking for those bids that need books, that need,
Wow.
so now I can sell them in bulk. So it's just another different avenue for me to get to where I need to. So please, y'all, if y'all have little kids or if y'all know someone with little kids, go ahead and check out my books website. They're super dope, super amazing. And I think you're definitely going to enjoy it. And there is a 30% discount code with the name Sheena. That's all you got to put, the name Sheena. Um,
It's gonna be in the description. So don't be bombarding me talking about what is it. After we finish the live, it's gonna go in it's gonna go in the description box.
yes. I don't offer mentoring. So I'm a big believer in doing
Yet.
do it yet, but I'm a big believer in doing what I got to do right and kind of being excellent at it. And right now is building the business and ensuring that my team is structured. So I don't do that. However, I do welcome for people to call me if you fall within any of the verticals that, and call me, I meant by emailing. You ain't gonna call, you ain't really gonna call me, but if you operate within any of the verticals that I do and you want to team up, if you want to discuss how we can make something work, and guys, understand by making something work, it doesn't mean that right now we're a right fit for each other. So we have to kind of understand what that looks like. And also, y'all, when y'all hit me up, don't send me a 30-page RFP. I got enough of those right now that I got to read for myself. Send me a
Woo!
scope of what you think we match. And then I will welcome you to send me the document. But don't ask me to do the work for you because I'm not about to do that. So, again, partnership opportunities. And even if you need quick tips of the different strategies that I implemented, how do I reach out to contracted officers and all that stuff, I would be more than welcome to share that. But don't schedule time with me and then don't show up because now you're messing up my time. And
And she
no.
already don't have enough of it. Okay. So and Erica, she does use Power BI. If you came in late, she was trying to get me to use Power BI. So she's already on that. But thank you for sharing. She listen, y'all. I say this after every single interview at the end. Do not come to her talking about can you help me bid. We didn't said that 15,000 times during this interview. You got to come to her leading with value. Hey, I see you're in, for example, you're in Charlotte. I'm in Atlanta. I saw something in Atlanta I would love to partner with you on. It is give her two sentences. Do you think that we can partner on this? This is what I can bring. I'm in the location. That's all I got. I ain't got no money, but I am in the location, and I would love to be able to help you source this. Would you be willing to work with me? That's how you provide value, not just if you, boy, I promise, if you send me a solicitation anywhere, I'm going off. Like, and I feel like I'm the person that needs to let people know, because I'm not going to ignore you. Usually I'm going to say something back, because I feel like people need to know. If you wouldn't go to Oprah like that, I'm not saying I'm Oprah, but I'm just saying you wouldn't go like that. You would say, I want to be able to make sure I'm leading with value. That's what it's all about. That's how you have to address every single conversation, or some sort of admiration. You know, I really appreciate what you did. That was fantastic. Da 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 da. Keep doing what you're doing. That's good too. But just having someone trying to do the work, don't just. I'm not putting your number. I'm not putting your number on the thing. I don't care what you say. I'm not putting your number in there.
Just put my email. But no, I would love, like, seriously, I would love to partner up with some of you guys. I mean, someone already came through you. They're like, hey, I know Sheena, this and that. I'm a vet. And we actually already submitted a solicitation together. And this was just last week, but the fit was right. When we spoke, he was ready. And that's what I want. I don't want you to come and for me to make you get ready. I'm not doing that. There's a question there. Did I learn from Sheena's course? So no, I did not learn from Sheena's course. I learned from Sheena live time. So I literally just reach out live time. But again, every time I reach out, I'm asking her for something, but I'm giving her something. I am trying to provide value at the same time. Now, I learned completely different, Jordan. Like, I don't like sitting through courses, which is why what I do is so special. I love interaction. And that's why I can just hit Sheena up and she's going to interact. But everything that she's telling me, it's in her course. So if you like courses, please go buy it. Now, if it's not your method of learning, don't buy it and then tell Sheena, I ain't learned nothing from your course because you ain't doing the work. Like, if you don't do the work, I don't know what to tell you.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I can't, no one can guarantee you anything. I don't care how, I don't care if it's 99 cents. Like, no one can guarantee you anything at all. Even a contracting officer can't guarantee you anything. So you do definitely have to do the work. And it may not be the same formula for everybody, because it's you individually as yourself, then your business, your location. You know, you might have a asshole for a contracting officer in that area that's been there for 30 years. And then a new person comes in and now everybody's getting great contracts. I mean, there's no way for me to know that. There's no way for anyone to know that. So what I just try to do, and what A has been doing as well when she shares information on the various platforms, is like, here's how I did it, and here's maybe a few suggestions. That's all we can ever do. That's the only thing we can do. No one can say you'll make this amount of money in this amount of time. There's some people who won their very first. I won my first one out the gate, not knowing what the hell I was doing. Some people, it took 20, 30, 50, and then they won a $2 million contract. And they're like, oh, I'm thinking I was doing it wrong all this time. No, it just wasn't the right time, right contract. So, anywho.
I love that, Sheena, that you mentioned timing. So this week, I was just told by an amazing mentor that I have, he's like, you're already a star. Don't be a falling star. Don't try to rush through things to where you don't know what you're doing. So just learn what to do. If you just want to make a couple of bucks, then yeah, sure, do whatever you want to do. But if you're trying to establish a business, a reputation, your credibility, like me being in the educational sector, I need to have credibility. I can't just come and say, I think I'm cute. Listen from me. No, you need to have what's going to back up all of that. So it's really that. But
definitely that. It's definitely, I love that. The falling star. That's whoo. And this, I mean, we get cocky, we get, you know, there's so many things, elements, business elements to it that a lot of people just haven't had a training for. Y'all know, y'all see my little display back here. I've been in probably 7, 8 programs. I'm program shorty. And like she said, everybody's not meant to sit there and to go through a course. That's, you know, I don't give a damn. I told y'all, if you just learn from hearing me talk on Instagram, if you just learn from hearing me talk on YouTube, if you just met me at a conference and you heard me, you're like, oh my God, you changed my life, and you want a contract, I want to hear that. I don't feel like you should have bought a course. No, before I even started any of this, I was doing all of this for free. just talking to people. And for me, I am a nerd when it comes to going through programs and learning about business. Cause I'm like, how do I grow, scale, sell? That's what my main focus was. That's not everyone's main focus. Some people they hustlers. They want to just go in there, make a few dollars and move on. And that's cool. Like she said, you grown, you do what you want to do, but that's not the lane that I'm teaching. That's not the lane that A is building either. She's trying to build legacy. She's trying to build and bring other people in and grow this beautiful dynasty. Okay. Even more so than I do. And so she's like, I can't be going out here selling fire trucks with that.
I would never do that again. But it got me to meeting you. So look at the fire truck.
No, I love it. I'm teasing. I love it because it was it was very interesting because I'm like, you know what? Like I started thinking about the Unison thing and like, wow, they really selling anything on there. And you really were wanting to make it work. And if you had to found the right person, you would have made it work. So cheers to that. I'm good with all of it. So a couple of last statements, and I know you got to go on your date night. Take action, y'all. Yes. And I talked to the Nightway. I got to get your real name because I talked to him. He lives in the UK. He was giving me all the info about the UK. I was like, okay, I appreciate it. So I really appreciate you, the Nightway. Take action, y'all. People will go to every seminar, conference all year long and never take action. That is so fact. So fact. Take your time and learn, ask questions, and be accountable. It's inner work, right? Inner work, what she said earlier. You don't need more motivation. You need discipline and consistency. Damn it. Yes. Do the stuff. I have a whole video where I said, stop researching and start bidding. Like, y'all research yourself into oblivion. What happened with the match? You got to go back and watch the replay. Don't do that to us, CC. Go back and watch the replay. Where would you suggest to start? Go back and watch the replay.
If you want to start and you like courses, buy Sheena's courses. If you don't want to make the initial investment, watch her videos. Her videos will tell you enough information for you to start. And like, go down the rabbit hole, watch her shorts, watch all these different things. It's going to help you. Where do you start?
That's right. I got video number 1, how to get started. So he said, bet. Okay, so now we are 2 hours and 16 minutes. There's still 100 people on here. That means they love you, girl. They love you. I really, any last questions, go ahead and ask them now. But I just want to say I truly appreciate you, A. I really love that you did this for me because I know you were like, you're like, I ain't telling nobody nothing.
Y'all not seeing me in no, I'm serious. Y'all not seeing me on no one else's YouTube channel, no one else's nothing. I'm busy, I'm focused, and I'm very strategic. So I know what I'm doing.
Look, she said that ain't gonna be no more. So I certainly appreciate it. And she's serious about that, like being strategic. Because our first conversation, she was like, no, I'm not sharing that. You're not putting this on the internet. I was like, yes, ma'am. But I like that. I like straight shooters. So that's why we get along so well, because we're both real and there's no fakeness. And so I appreciate you so much. And I just wish you so much success. We talk pretty much every day. So so it ain't no thing. Have fun on your date night. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And let's see. Strategic approach is unmatched. Truly a blessing. Lots of gems. Thank you for sharing. And Faye said, I've been on a contract. I don't understand these line items, product line items for janitor. We ain't doing that. Not on this call. And trying to get the book. So I'm gonna put it. I promise y'all, I got her blurb. I'm gonna put it in the description. So her website, her contact information, the link to her books, and her products. You guys will have that. And I think that is all we went over. That means y'all love it. So I appreciate y'all tremendously. Appreciate all my sponsors, all the peoples. We got Casino, we got the Nightway, we got Joy Millhouse Solutions, Mr. Person, we got Yolanda. Appreciate y'all so much. Of course, we got Big Oliver, and DIY is in here twice. Appreciate you so much. And you guys know that I have experts on here of things that I don't quite know for sure, and they are the experts, and that's who I have on my channel so they can share a different perspective, because y'all don't want to always hear my voice. So yeah, I appreciate it, everyone, and have fun on your date night. You stay on, A. And until next time, it is your favorite veteran.
Bye.
Bye.